He always said that his main job was to help people succeed. And I think he did a good job at that.
He went from teller to president in 41 years. So that's a lot of impact for a lot of different people in various stages of their life that he was able to be present for along those different journeys.
I think he was always a great listener, and he just always showed up. He always wanted to be involved. It opened doors for him and for others.
He truly cared about the people around him. So he would want to know what you like to do on the weekends. He'd want to know the names of your kids. He'd want to know the pets in the household. He shared that too. So he really wanted to know not just the financial ledger of someone to help them out, but wanted to know like their why and just who they were as people. So he had a genuine interest in people beyond the boardroom. Why are we a role model for young people? It might sound funny, but he made business really fun. Very recently, I had an old chum from school reach out to me and she said, you know, Tina, it's funny. I can't remember what I had for dinner last night, but somehow I still remember the number of tomato slices that McDonald's gets out of every tomato in a quarter pounder with cheese when your father came to speak to our 7th grade economics class. And I thought that was just really cool because he made business so relatable. You know, you could be a CEO of a company and you could talk as a CEO, but you could be a 7th grade kid and talk about how the structure of a hamburger is something we ate, you know, almost every day. Like why it mattered, and that lesson, you know, stayed with my friend in school for, you know, many, many decades.
Another way he related to the kids was he talks a lot about rock and roll and music, and that the kids would think it's music and rock and roll, but that's business. It's a business for someone, and there's all the aspects of business to have to run, and kids really love that. He brought a famous rock and roller to a meeting once, and kids were really excited and couldn't believe that that guy was a businessman too. When he was younger, he didn't have some of the support behind him that a lot of people do have, and he heard about junior achievement from a librarian, and he said he wanted to join as soon as he could. And then he joined Junior Achievement. He learned so much. And he did win a lot of awards his senior year. And the manager of HR sent him a note and said, if you ever want a job, you've got a job at People's Bank that has ended up as US Bank. But he called me right away and he said, I've got a job. And he went there unannounced to the bank with his letter, with his bell bottoms and his polyester shirt, his long 70s haircut, and said, I'm here for my job. And they went, well, gee, we don't have an appointment for you. And he goes, I got a letter right here. And it said, I have a job if I ever want it. So he just thought it was there waiting for him. And they let him go in the office and talk to HR, and they started him in teller training. He started as a teller, and he worked in many aspects of the bank until he was president, which was a surprise. He never set out to say, I'm going to be the president of that bank. He just set out to say, I'm going to work as best I can, and that's what it got him.
That's why he loved mentoring, because he believed in everyone's potential. So I think, yeah, just showing up for people. He would say, never too tired, never too sick, never too busy to show up. And he really was that way.
And he retired early because of his illness. And I think that killed him more than a tumor. Yeah, he hated leaving his coworkers and everything that he could do, you know, on behalf for the city, on behalf of the bank. And so he really loved his career.
It was a snowy day in the Sammamish area, Highlands, in February. And Dad was at Swedish Highlands Hospital. He'd had a seizure, which paralyzed his throat, and he was unable to swallow. So it put us on this challenging trajectory. The phone rings, and it was Natalie from JA, and really excited to make this phone call. Got your nomination of your father for the Laureate, and he's been selected as one of the laureates for 2025. I ran back to his room, and he was there, and he's giving us little hugs and looking at us, and couldn't talk. I was like, Dad, we have some news for you. You've been selected as the 2025 Junior Achievement of Washington Laureate. Pretty stoic face for several hours, and he just goes, just big blue eyes, eyebrows raised up.
And he went,
Just, he just did this thing. It was really awesome to be able to tell him that.
yeah, really happy he knew.
And that's when he stopped responding. But he knew.
Junior Achievement, what's made it special to me was the people there that stayed with me and helped me grow after I was out of the program. There's no program really in the world, I believe, that can teach you as much as Junior Achievement teaches you. I want Junior Achievement to be in every kid's life. That's why I've stuck with it for 52 years.